What is going on, YouTube? I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you're interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. This is an interesting video. I'm broke, sort of. So I don't even know where to start with this video. So, okay, there we go. Let's start there. I saved up all of my money for the last 3 years while living in Arizona while we had this huge influx on YouTube of money and finances, and all of the videos were doing amazing. All of the YouTube creators were doing so great financially. And a lot of people thought that this was just going to continue. It was just going to keep happening the way that it's happening. And this is our income for the rest of our lives. I knew better. So I saved all of my money up in order to buy this house. And oh my gosh, here, stop it. She's trying to get at this. In order to buy this house so that I could have my Arizona house be a rental, because again, I knew that YouTube income was not going to stay. So I spent all of my savings on this house because the sale happened a lot faster than I thought, and it was a lot cheaper than I thought. So I was going to continue accumulating my money, and have an additional amount of money to put on the house. But this house came up in the location I was looking for. The price range was way below what I was looking at. And it just sort of happened that I had that much money. So I spent all of my emergency savings and my savings, not my investments, on this house. So when I moved in, after all of the costs of moving with the U-Haul truck, I move in, I still have some money left. I'm like, okay, cool. I start all these renovation projects. I do a couple bedrooms, I do the dining room, and then I move on to the kitchen, and I noticed something a little weird. I was being pushed out the back door, meaning my floor was sloping. So it would slope like this, and then it would slope even further. And I had to call somebody and say, is this an issue, or is it in my imagination? Because, old houses, like, is this my imagination? Am I crazy? The guy goes, he pulls out the little bar and he goes, nope, you're not crazy. It's like 30% off. And I was like, okay, yeah, great. Can we fix that? Yeah, we can fix that. No problem. He says, I'll be here in a month. I'm like, perfect. That'll give me enough. He gives me the quote. It'll give me enough money to save up. And he goes, hey, Prepper Princess, my 2 projects fell through. Can I come over today? And I was like, I can't pay you today. I have some of the money, but I'm like $3,500 short. And he goes, oh, don't worry about it. He's giving me a discount for paying in cash. He's like, don't worry about it. You can pay me when you get it. Well, I paid him the $3,500, but I owe him like $7,000 because this is like an intense job. It had to restructure the whole, foundation repair. Foundation repairs, as you know, are not cheap. And I'm like, ooh, okay. And as you all know, I live debt-free. I'm debt-free, everything. And just knowing that I owe this guy money is driving me crazy. So I paid him the $3,500, and then I'm like, okay, I can scrounge up another $1,000. Okay, here's another $1,000. And then I scrounged up another $900. And all of these different incomes that I have come in at different times. But the fact that I owe him money is just, I have not been in debt for so long. And just having it in the back of my mind that I owe money it's so stressful. It's been 20 years since I felt like this, and I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And let me tell you something about people. Everyone's going to give you advice. Don't follow advice of broke people. Don't follow diet advice from fat people. Use your common sense. And everybody says, well, why don't you just take money out of your brokerage account? And I'm like, do you just tap into your 401k every time a house repair comes up? Or every time you need to use your credit card, do you just tap into your 401k and take that money out? Because that's essentially what you're telling me to do. Because, that's not how I work. I'm not going to take from my future to pay for my present. Just like with a credit card, When you use a credit card, you are taking, if you can't pay it off that month, you are taking from your future to pay for your now. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. But in order for me to pay this guy off in a timely manner, because the YouTube revenue is like way down, I'm making like probably anywhere between 50 and 75% less than I was just 6 months ago. I mean, it's a huge, and this is with all YouTubers. I mean, everybody's talking about what a huge loss of income this year has been. And in order for me to do this, I'm like going back to my like extreme frugal habits. Like, there's frugal. For me, a comfort level of frugal is more extreme than most other people. But I'm going beyond my comfort level to go extreme. I mean, like, extreme. Like, I haven't bought any food. I'm just going through my pantry. I'm like, what's for food today? Okay, well, we're gonna have some rice, and we've got some pineapple and green beans. Sounds good. Dinner sounds great. Let's have that. So, and you know, my car is just sitting in the driveway. Not that I drive much anyway. I do walking a lot. I'm a huge walker. But now it's like, I feel like I have to walk. Like, not just out of like health that I do my walking and the ease of access to all of these things that I'm close to. Now I feel like, okay, well, if you want to go anywhere, you have to walk because you can't buy gas. And just some crazy stuff. You know, one of the funny things about this new house is when I first moved in, so this house is 100% solar. I have the receipt of a $36,000 purchase put on the roof, and it was included when I bought it. So I didn't pay for it, and it was definitely not included in the price of the house because the house was like just dirt cheap. So I was like, oh, I've got full solar, so I can just use whatever I want whenever I want it. And I've never had that freedom before. Never in my life. Even as a kid, you know, my mom was like, turn off the light. You know, don't use that. Don't turn on the heater. And I was just turning everything on. I'm like, yeah, let's light the place up because I'm on solar. Oops. So I was checking out my Pacific Gas and Electric bill, and when you're in the green, meaning you're producing less electricity than you're using, it goes like this. But when you're using more than you're producing, it's up here. And I'm seeing all these blue ones up here and no green ones down at the bottom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was using way too much. So I went back to my extreme frugal electricity saving habits. You know, blinds are open, no lights are on. I turned off my water heater and I only flip it on an hour before I'm about to take a bath or a shower. You know, I've gone down from I have a high efficiency washer. Again, it came with the house and I definitely wouldn't have purchased it only because it's so deep and I'm not short. Whenever I get my clothes out, my feet like are dangling off of the ground as I'm going into the washer to reach my stuff. But I digress. So I was doing like however many loads I felt like, you know, oh, I want to wear this shirt twice or 3 times in a row. So I'm just going to throw that in there with a couple of washcloths and do a load. No, now I'm back to like full loads, only doing wash once a week. That is it. That includes doing your couch cushions, your bedding, anything. Like I am on ultimate not using anything. And I just want to say that it's a really weird, strange mindset that I haven't been in like 20 years. There is a huge difference between doing it because you want to do it and doing it because you have to do it. And technically, I don't even have to do it, but the stress of the debt that I owe this guy, I still owe him $1,580. I owe him $1,580. And you know, that's about what my YouTube check is these days, you know? So I'm just in, you know, taxes and all that stuff, but it just really wears on you a little bit. And I forgot, you know, I've been debt free for over 20 years and I had forgotten what this feels like. And for those of you who are in debt, I just want to set a little reminder to you that being debt free is a total game changer. I mean, the stress that is taken off of your shoulders and in your head. I mean, I'm losing sleep over this $1,500. I know it sounds stupid because, you know, most people are hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and this is stressing me out. So I can't even imagine what you guys who are in huge amounts of debt are going through. But, you know, it's just like, God. So I want to send some positive vibes out there to you guys and say, you know what? If you are still in debt, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And once you reach that light at the end of the tunnel, I can promise you, it is a total game changer. I mean, a total game changer. My guess is that with the stress relief you will get from becoming debt-free, you are going to add 10 years onto your life. I'm serious. You're not going to die of a heart attack or a stroke just from the stress. You're not going to have a brain pop. God, what is that? Oh my gosh, my father died of it. What is it called? A brain pop. Oh my gosh. It's not a stroke. It's a brain hemorrhage. Brain hemorrhage? There's an actual word for it though. I can't believe I forgot that. Or maybe I just can't think of the word right now. Hematoma? No. Oh. Brain bleed? No. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys. Anyway, this turned into a little bit of a off-topic thing, but I do really just want to tell you guys, you know, do not step off the path. If someone, remember that 80% of people out there do not have their finances together. So if somebody is telling you what you should be doing with your money, you have to be very wary of the people that you're listening to, because there's only 20% of us that are living our financials the right way. And even me, I made a mistake. The whole reason I did this was timing, bad timing, and peer pressure. I should have just said no and said, no, come back in a month, you know, but the peer pressure of people on YouTube wanting to see all these renovation videos and getting my kitchen completed. But now, because of the foundation repair, it's going to be several months before my kitchen gets done, and I'm okay with that. As you can see, I'm doing free stuff. Anything that I can do around the house for free with supplies that I already have on hand, that is what I'm doing. So I just painted the whole front window, and I'm going to be taking down the weird drapery that the guy left behind and the drapery rod, because it's not even a drapery rod. He actually used a bookshelf. Those little L things, L brackets, he used a bookshelf and then just cut like a piggy bank slit. Like, you know how there's a piggy bank with a slit? He just cut a slit on top and then he just put it on the shelf. Like he bent the shelf and then he just put the little piggy bank holes over the shelf. Maybe somebody should have told him that a new drapery rod is only $30, which I bought months ago. It's a project I've been procrastinating on because I was too busy with the kitchen, but now I have time. Now I have time to do a bunch of projects around the house that I have all the supplies for. Okay, I'm gonna stop now. Have a great day, YouTube.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Is it a little overwhelming? Just a little?
No, it's good. You just need your little baby.
My contractor.
You need your fix. What are you doing, big boy? You're a lap dog now?
Oh, he's always been a lap dog. He'll bark at you till I let you in, but as soon as you're in, he knows you're a good guy, so he's just best buddies.
Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Okay. All right, come on, just for 1 second here. Oh.